Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This time I'm going to be talking to you about the territory battle, specifically light side Geonosis. And I want to focus on Rebel Officer Leia Organa because she has a pretty cool thing in her kit that is actually catered really well to this territory battle, and I used her last time with CLS, Chewie, Han, and Captain Han because I was just trying to figure out a use for her and Han and didn't really have anything else, so that's why I ended up testing. And I want to go over her kit real quick and explain why I think she's so good, but also talk about, a couple other options that you could fit in. So she is obviously a rebel, so she's great under CLS. Her basic is a perfectly fine ability, deal physical damage target enemy and inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Buff immunity is pretty nice in this territory battle whenever you're facing a lot of tanks who taunt. She gains 10% turn meter and an additional 10% turn meter if the target had full health, and an additional 10% turn meter if the target is Empire. So you're not going to be getting the turn meter from the Empire ability. However, it should be pretty easy to get 20% turn meter because, B1s and B2s are always at full health, so anytime attacking them should get you to gain 20% turn meter, which is pretty nice. And I think that's one reason why I think I'm like 3PO is because he does call in the mass assist, but either way, pretty good basic ability. Next, we're going to move to Rubble Barrage. This is the ability that has a 14 turn cooldown, so it's pretty lengthy before you get to it again, kind of. Deal physical damage 10 times to random enemy targets. Enemies struck more than once suffer ability block. That's great. This ability's cooldown is reduced by 1 whenever Leia scores a critical hit or suffers a debuff. These attacks can't be countered. So this is the really interesting part. So you're hitting someone 10 times, and for each crit, it reduces the cooldown by 1. So it's very important that you crit, which means you are going to want effectively 100% crit chance, which I'll get back to in 1 second. She has plus 10%. This is her unique ability, Dauntless. She has 10% offense and 40% tenacity. The first time each turn Leia resists detrimental effect or suffers a debuff, she gains 15% turn meter and gains 35% offense, stacking until the end of her next turn. So a lot of stacking offense and that sort of stuff, which is all great. Some turn meter, all good stuff. But what I want to focus on here is crit chance. The idea here would be to effectively get her to 75% crit chance, and because she's squishy, you are going to want to get guard on her from Chewie. Guard's going to be very important on her because it gives her the additional 25% crit chance to get her to 100%, which means every time she takes an attack, she's reducing her cooldowns. And on this special ability, as you'll see in a minute, that is a huge benefit for sure. So you can see here, I've got her modded for crit damage and crit chance, with a speed arrow, crit damage triangle, offense primaries, kind of just focusing on secondary speed and crit chance, basically. And then protection is the survivability stat that you're going to want to look for with her because of the recovery from Chewie being called in. Mine's 269. She's pretty fast, but I mean, my mods aren't super crazy. Low mid-teens on secondary speed on all of them, pretty much. So I think she has a lot of potential, and particularly because of the 10 times damage or landing damage 10 times. It's particularly effective against B1s and B2s whenever they have all those stacks of droid battalion because each one will take someone out. Then once you get past them, you can do a lot of damage to, even characters that are hidden like Geospy. So I absolutely love this kit, and I think you guys will have some pretty good success with her. Next, I kind of wanted to go to my run from last time, this particular video, and just kind of show you guys what, you know, what I did, and see what you guys think. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the video of this run, and this was of course CLS, Han, Chewie, Rolo, and Han. Like I said, I think that Backpack Chewie or 3PO are probably the best fifths over Han. The revives are nice, but not particularly great. One thing that I did do here in the beginning that I did not like after kind of running it was the attacking B2s. B2s will commit suicide basically due to your counters, so just kind of let B2 go ahead and attack out and focus your damage on, you know, snipers, geospies, whatever else you might end up seeing. All right, so right there you saw the massive damage from Leia as she completely wiped out that B1, and then did some pretty considerable damage to one of the sniper droids. Her attacks were hitting what, about 14,000 I think on average per attack, and that's 10 times. So I mean, that's some pretty considerable damage that she's, you know, laying out, which is pretty awesome. And that's only going to get better with a character like Backpack Chewie if you have him ready. But then also if you use 3PO, one other thing is you don't have to worry about getting her to 75% crit chance as much, because if he gives translation out twice, I think it's plus 15% crit chance, so you could possibly make it passable with 60%. In this wave, you'll see kind of more so what I was talking about with the B2s effectively committing suicide. Just kind of let them do their thing and wipe them out. This droideka ends up taking out Rolo, which is not great. I should have done a little bit better job at making sure that I got taken down, because you know, those dekas, once they get a few stacks, they can be pretty nasty. And here comes the kill shot to Rolo. I mean, she's full health, full protection, and it just does not matter at all. Fortunately, Han kind of hung in there, and I was able to go ahead and finish the wave. But now knowing how I should play it different, you know, I don't think that'll be as much of an issue. But that's also the other advantage of having, you know, say 3PO or Backpack Chewie, is you do have the additional damage from each attack, and, you know, the exposed from 3PO and the extra attack from Backpack Chewie, not to mention the additional damage that he would provide. And there we go. Spy takes out Han, which not that big of a deal. I really did not like Han. He's kind of too slow and too just cumbersome to really do much, so I'm not super crazy about him. Oh, hold on. Okay, so let's go back really quickly. All right, look at that damage. 13,000. Basically 13,000 across the board. That is pretty crazy. That's 130,000 damage. I mean, no, few characters are going to do that much damage in this territory battle, and, you know, especially if it gets down to 1 or 2 characters, that's going to be effectively a kill shot. You see Han and Chewie here doing, what, 40 and 20? So, I mean, Rolo is, in a way, going to be kind of your primary damage dealer. You know, nothing else really exciting happens the rest of this thing, because Kalani just kind of destroys me. I do eventually end up taking him out, but you need percent health damage almost to take him out. Or what I should have done, or knowing what I know now, is I would have saved the special ability, because, I mean, if all those hit on Kalani, you know, he might be gone. Bye-bye. But anyway, I hope you guys found this kind of interesting, gave you something to work with, maybe gave you a use for that darn Rolo that you had to gear up for Jedi Master Luke, because it does seem like such a waste, but I think there's certainly use here. So hope you guys found this video helpful. If so, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys later.